Do you ever feel like you need a little bit more challenge? Not COVID challenge, but challenge in your teaching and learning. You want to take that next step to be the best teacher you can be. And you think maybe highly accomplished or lead might be that step. Do you feel like you don't have the mentor of your dreams? Maybe you had them once and you lost them when you moved sites. Do you miss that support and that encouragement and really want to understand how you can celebrate your practice, how you can reinvigorate yourself, particularly right now with all the extra pressures, so that you remember why you're a teacher, why you love being in the classroom, and use that energy to make a massive difference to your kids, to your colleagues, and to your site? Well, this episode is about one wonderful educator who has done all of those things. I can't wait to share this interview with Emma with you because Emma is an inspiration. So be prepared to get excited, enthused, and, well, a little bit inspired.
Hi, I'm Selena Woodward, and I'm an English and drama teacher, university lecturer, and with edufolios.org, a big-time reflective practitioner. So how can reflective practice help you grow your teaching skills, fall in love with your profession all over again, and help you nail accreditation and teacher registration with less stress and less work? Well, this is the Reflective Teacher Podcast. Welcome to another episode of the Reflective Teacher Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Selena Woodward, and today I am joined by the wonderful, fabulous Emma. Hey, Emma, how are you?
Hello, good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's so exciting. I bumped into Emma over the last launch of the Evidence Engine in, would that have been April or May 2022, when Emma came and worked with me to learn more about creating evidence. And Emma and I and the rest of the gang in the Evidence Engine had a brilliant time. And I asked Emma if she would come and share her journey with us, because I know listeners, viewers, you love to hear the stories of educators on their accreditation journey. Hopefully we might have some nuggets to share that you can take away and learn from. But I'm really, really excited to be joined by Emma and to celebrate her and all of her achievements over the past few months. Really, genuinely very excited. So Emma, let's start by letting you tell everybody a little bit about you. Who are you? Where are you? What's your story?
What's my story? I am a teacher, obviously. I'm at a school in Canberra. I'm a specialist teacher, so I teach PE at the moment, and this year I've taken on the role as head of student house. Prior to that, I was in New South Wales Department of Ed School, so I originally lived up in Sydney where it's a bit warmer, and I've taught in almost every grade, I think, except for kindergarten. Spent a few years up there in Sydney, had a family, then I moved down to the Snowy Mountains. And then, I was on mixed cohort classes down there for a couple of years, and then needed to move into a new space. We were a little bit far away from family, so came up to Canberra and was lucky enough to join the independent system. So I've been at my current school for 3 years, learning all different ways of educating through the independent system as a specialist teacher rather than just in the classroom.
So this is your first specialist role?
Definitely, yep. I have been used to teaching maths and English and all the other things that go along with classroom teaching. So different focus the last 3 years on PE, which is my love. I love physical education. I'm pretty active myself. So that's been really different for me.
Yeah, awesome. I wanted to clarify that because we have, a lot of people who are specialists who, feel like it's harder to go through the accreditation process for some reason. But let's hear your story. You joined the Evidence Engine in the last cohort, which would have been May, June 2022. What brought you to the Evidence Engine? What kind of issues, troubles, what was going on for you around your accreditation and your career progression that brought you to the Evidence Engine? What problems were you facing?
I think I was searching for a little bit of guidance, motivation, and I was searching for a mentor of some description. At my previous school, I worked with an incredible leader who was a great guidance to me, and I really missed that. So I was searching at my current school for, I guess, a replacement. And I knew in the back of my mind that I'd looked at accreditation previously, but was just too scared. It looked too big. It looked like I wasn't capable. It looked really, really detailed and like a lot of hours that I didn't think I had. As I said, I've got a family, so I was juggling all those things as well outside of school. So yeah, I knew I wanted to in the back of my mind, in that gut feeling that I wanted to do it, because I have been teaching for a little while now and feel like I kind of have things not under control, but I have a good handle of most things. I don't think any teacher ever feels like they've got anything under control, but yeah, I was searching for something else, for more challenge. And I think it was just a Google search where I came across you. Or maybe it was, no, it was I was listening, because I love listening to podcasts. I'm a podcast queen. That's what I do when I go for a walk or a ride or whatever without my children. That's how I read books, listen to podcasts, all those types of things. So that's my outlet. So yeah, I was looking for leadership podcasts within education and stumbled across yours and binge listen basically from the start, or I think it was like episode 30-ish that I could access. So that's how I got onto your what you provide, and just kind of snowballed from there, really.
Awesome. And you heard about the evidence engine through that, I'm guessing. And then now here you are, having completed the evidence engine. Now, I remember the phone call I had with you because I was actually at my son's sports day, which is very interesting, being a PE teacher. And I had to sneak off and sit in the car, if I remember rightly, to have my call with you. And it was really awesome. And I do remember you talking about missing that mentor. I remember you talking about wanting that challenge, to challenge yourself, and you felt like HA was the thing that you needed to challenge yourself. How did that feel, though, to know that, you I don't know, I'm not going to put the words, how did that feel to miss your mentor, to want that challenge? What did that feel like for you?
I think it was feeling like I wanted direction but had no direction, or I had this goal in my mind but I just had no idea how to get there, or no one really championing my ability. I feel like the mentor that I had, she really knew me. We were from a small school, and I felt like she just got me. She got pretty much all of us that were working with, she was working with. And I'd gone from a really, really tight, small community into a really large community at my current school. And being so new, I just felt a bit lost, I guess. I hadn't made the impact that I wanted to make. That I think all teachers want to make that impact somehow, whether it's with your students, whether it's with your colleagues, whether it's with the parent community. I guess that's how I was feeling. I was wanting to make an impact, but was feeling lost in all those people that are at my current school.
And hearing you say, "Oh, I didn't believe that I could do it as well," I'm like, that's nonsense. Having worked with you for a couple of months, that's nonsense. So like, it's that faith in yourself and that permission almost to go for it. So I'm really glad that you found us, that you hung out with us, and you worked so hard. It was so fun. Brilliant stuff. Came to all the coaching sessions, completed the evidence engine so fabulously. It was brilliant. It was an absolute pleasure. What happened for you during that learning time for you? What changed?
I think what changed was it just became a whole lot clearer. The document that we get with either proficient or HA or lead is this humongous wordy document that is really disconnected almost or it was hard to understand. Whereas now, through working through each module that you provided and pulling it apart and talking about what it looks like, sounds like, or feels like, there you go, I'm in the
Yeah,
classroom,
that's all good.
what it looks like in our practice, and you use real world examples, it just became a whole lot clearer. I also think too, talking about, you spoke about how with all your experience you still go through every single from proficient proficient HA lead, you fluctuate through all of those.
Hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, I didn't really think about that. I felt like it was almost putting teachers in a box, or in a compartment. You are at this level now, and then you will go to the next step, or you can't go to the next step until you've ticked X, Y, and Z. Whereas now
Hmm.
I feel like I understand the fluidity of it, the all the wordiness that was on there has now disappeared, because I can pull it apart and I can go, all right, this is what they're asking, this is what it looks like, and this is the impact that they're after. Am I showing that? Yeah, I am. Or if I'm not, I know where I need to go. That's what happened through doing
That's
the
awesome.
modules.
So, do you think that you learned, because you said, "Oh, I didn't know if I was doing the right thing. I needed a mentor to support me, almost to sort of, I don't know, give you that sense that you're on the right track." Do you still feel that way, or do you feel like you now can really clearly see yourself? How far have you gone with that, would you
Yeah,
say?
that's a good question. I have linked up, so I've officially applied for HA as of last week,
Woohoo!
and I know, yay,
That is a
my
huge deal,
school.
everyone, because there was a lot of doubting going on. So that is a high five celebratory moment. That's awesome. Congratulations.
I've officially done it, and then my school, within my leadership team at school, one of them has come to me and said, "Look, if you want me to be your mentor to help you through the process, yeah, I'm happy to do that." So we've worked out a meeting for this Friday. So now I feel like I can go to her and say, "I need help in this. This is the direction I need to go, and this is what I need help in," rather than before doing this, I think I probably would have gone, "I don't know where to start. You need to help me get there."
Yeah, yeah.
And so, yeah, now I feel like it's almost like the heat maps in my head, and I can see where I need to go and what I'm missing. And
Hmm.
it's not a fear of missing things now. It's just, oh, that's where I need what I need to do. It's
Awesome.
just a stepping stone. It's just a stepping stone, or a ladder, for lack of a better visualization. Yeah, it's just a stepping stone I need to get to.
And I love that because in the last cohort, we did a lot of work around ourselves. So the first module of the evidence engine is all about mindset, really. And we did a lot of work about failure and how it's really interesting that as teachers, we expect our kids to have a growth mindset. But as teachers, we also expect ourselves to be perfect immediately with no learning curve whatsoever. And we couldn't possibly make any mistakes. And we had a lot of fun recognizing that, working with some of the Jen Rafferty. One of the bonuses was a Jen Rafferty webinar. I'll put in the show notes the podcast to Jen if you haven't experienced that, and her bears in your brain. Trust me, it's worth it. And we did a lot of work around that because just like our kids, when we mark their work, we want to be able to look at the growth spots, as I like to call them, as data points that help us to find the next step. And I know that you were really keen to get a challenge. Do you feel like your perception of the challenge that you needed may have shifted, or do you still feel like HA is the challenge? Has that changed at all? I'm curious.
No, well, it's a challenge that I'm enjoying now rather than being scared of.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
still there, and I've, like, now that I've applied, I've set it, and that's now going to be my goal for the next however long it takes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's excited me, it's invigorated me. I can feel the adrenaline. Like, I come home, I'm driving in the car on the way home now, and I've started to choose classical music as my listening. to just calm me down and center me, because I feel like I'm really just so pumped to get things happening and achieve everything that I want to achieve to get HA.
Yeah.
It's an exciting challenge.
That's
Yeah.
exciting. So is the stress there? Is it really overwhelming now? Is any of that there now, or has all that gone away?
It's still overwhelming, and I'm still like started collecting the evidence that you helped me
Mm.
put together during the modules, and it's there in my edufolios. I have timelines now that are more concrete with applying for accreditation. I still haven't really worked on how I'm going to achieve those specifically in the time that they've given me. So that's a challenge, just navigating my timetable and home and all
Mm-hmm.
those types of things. So that's still there, but I just have this underlying calmness now that I will get there.
Yeah.
It's not, I can't and won't ever do it, and I'm a failure, and
Well,
I will get there.
I'm so glad because you're not a failure, And even if you didn't pass the first time, you're still not a failure. Not that I think that will happen, but you're not a failure. It's another data point for learning moving forward. I think a lot of people who go through HA and lead feel quite overwhelmed by all the same things you've just said, like the timeline and when are they going to find time to do it. But they also feel quite overwhelmed by the standards and how to create evidence and what are the right artifacts. And often they're trying to do it retrospectively too. They're like, oh, I've waited until I've got at least 4 or 5 years worth of stuff, and now I'm going to look backwards and I'm going to see what I can pull together. Do you feel like you have both those sets of stresses, or do you think you maybe have a little less cognitive load because you maybe have some knowledge now that you didn't before? I'm just trying to unpack the challenge. Like, where is the challenge for everyone?
Yeah, no, now, so I'm not, oh, I am looking retrospectively, I guess. I have used kind of this year or the last 2 years, I guess, in my head
Mhm.
to build up the collection of evidence. And in saying that, it's not going to be a huge collection, as in physical things or on a website, whatever you're going to use to put it together, whatever I'm going to use. Um, I just know now that I'm looking forward as to how I can make an impact rather than looking back.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so for example, today in my department meeting, I spoke about potentially doing shared teacher observations of each other in order to improve our teaching skills in specific sporting areas. So we have on staff, we have people with Olympic backgrounds in hockey. We have people who are professional cricket players. They have all these skills in place that they can then help us to improve what we teach in our classroom, our playground outside. Um, and we're not utilizing that. So through looking at the HA standards, pulling them apart and what kinds of evidence, or I now like to say, what kind of professional growth we could implement using the standards, I've made that suggestion, and hopefully we're going to implement that within our team,
Mm.
which is a growth spot for all of us.
Yeah.
And I don't see it as necessarily, here's another piece of evidence that I can put to my portfolio. It's professional growth for the department, which will
Yeah.
then in turn impact the students that we're teaching. So
Yeah.
that's what gets me excited. Like, I'm getting excited talking about it.
I
And then
can
it's
tell.
professional for the other teachers too, because the professional or ex-professional cricket player is first year out teacher. So he's got, not only does he have all these amazing skills that he can teach us, I can then assist him, and our other teachers can then assist him in classroom practice. So it's just going to be this cycle of professional growth and support of each other. Like, it's going to bond us as a team. It's awesome.
And it's all
That's
coming
what
from the
excites me.
standards, right? It's all coming from the
Yeah.
standards and your connection with them, your ability to use those standards to see things, see opportunities to plan for impact, which of course we learn in the evidence engine too, the sort of planning for impact, measuring the now and working out how you're going to get where you're going to go and how do you document that. And also being very proactive, not reactive in your evidence gathering. Sounds really exciting. Ooh, that is, oh,
Yeah.
I fancy having an Olympic. Whoa, wow, cool.
I know,
That's
she's
exciting.
amazing. She's amazing
Wow.
too.
Wow, amazing. That's so good. It does sound to me though, my friend, like in the when did I last see you? I'm trying to think. June probably. Like in the last 4 or 5 weeks you may have slipped more towards lead than HA. What's going on?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I am just getting really excited about the direction that the standards have given me. And yeah, it's not about judgment, which you spoke about. They're just providing so much now momentum and growth for me that I think, coming back to your question before, what was I looking for? I feel like that's now what your program has given me. They're now providing that growth, that almost the standards are almost mentoring me a little bit, which is cool. That's pretty cool. Hey.
It is pretty cool. They're giving you direction. They're giving you questions to ask. They're giving you opportunities to be curious, I think. And you, my friend, are taking those opportunities, which is brave, you know? And I think part of that is down to this mindset shift of gaps equals growth, not panic, I must be crap at my job, you know, which is where we all end up sometimes, you know. And you are amazing at your job and you're doing a fantastic job. It's awesome to hear. It really is. And I love that you've gone from feeling pretty sort of, I almost got a sense of a bit professionally lonely and a little bit like lacking in direction, to look at you. You're excited, you're engaged, you've got clear direction, you're mentoring others, you're being the mentor that your mentor was for you, for others now. Like, you're beautiful. It's so beautiful to watch. Congratulations. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and I really appreciated at the start of the modules that the focus on mindset, which I wasn't expecting. That's not something I just thought we're going to get straight into, boom, this is what it is. This is what you need to do. Fill this in. Let's get writing. It was that I appreciated that because, yeah, I feel like you obviously need to have that growth mindset, which we give to our kids or teach to our students, behind you when you will come up to those struggles that we all will face when we're doing these things. That was a good layer, foundation to give us in the program. Yeah,
Yeah, I had to put that in because I'm a Hermione Granger. Most teachers are. We are all perfectionists and we're very fearful of getting things wrong. But you can't grow if you don't make mistakes, so you can learn from them. And I knew that if I didn't address that elephant in the room, it wouldn't matter what I taught you, it would be too scary to take any steps without that permission to be really messy. And we have our mantra about being really messy. I'm here to learn. I'm going to make mistakes. That's what we do, you know? And so that's really important. And I'm really pleased that you saw the value in that. That's really, really cool. It's really exciting. So it's that time of year again at the moment where the evidence engine doors are open. What would you say to someone who's sitting on the fence right now and isn't really sure whether they should go ahead? What would you say to that person?
Well, I was on my TQI registration workshop meeting tonight, and the TQI lady was explaining everything, and I just wanted to scream through the screen. Everyone needs to get onto Edufolios and make your own portal and do the evidence engine, because all the wonderful details that TQI give you are fantastic and they're unreal, but your program on top of that just makes everything a whole lot clearer and provide the support, I think, and answers the questions, because there are 1,000 questions that come up within the registration process and accreditation process that the evidence engine answer.
Brilliant.
And yeah, it takes out the busyness. It takes out the busyness in my mind. When I was sitting in the workshop, I could feel the busyness come back.
Okay.
And I just had to think, just slow down and stop. Selena's giving everything to you.
Take a breath.
Just take on board what they're giving you, and you need these dates and you need the word count and all those things, and write it all down and copy the slides, and then we'll come back to Edufolios after. and it will be okay.
Yeah, because the evidence engine is never going to replace that course at the TQI or NESA or WA or TRBSA or the department or ASA, whoever's running that course. They're going to teach you what they want you to present to them and how they want it presented, how many words. I want this color coded. I want it divided up like this. I want it in these modules. I want it delivered like this. They're going to give you that. The evidence engine isn't about that. The evidence engine is about helping you to reflect on your practice, really understand the standards. So like you say, they become a tool that you can use all the time to help you understand your practice. It's about learning different frameworks for reflection, one or two of which are definitely ones that you would use for HA or lead. It's about sharing examples of practice across different career stages. It's about teaching you how to plan for impact so that the evidence just appears, because that's what we do, and it's about teaching you, like you said, you mentioned the heat map, teaching you how to look at the data and understand what that says about your practice so you can keep growing. So the evidence engine will show you what a great piece of evidence looks like and help you to write a great piece of evidence. But it doesn't show you how to submit that or how to lay that out, what color coding or anything like that. So you're absolutely right, and that's why I was asking, like, those people who may have not done the evidence engine have also got to learn all that stuff as well. They've got to learn how to write evidence, what an artifact is that a good artifact, have I got the right focus area? They're plagued by all those questions. And I don't think you will be. I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, the evidence engine, it is the practical example that your jurisdiction or whatever, however you're going about your accreditation, the evidence engine is the practical example to all the protocols and things that you need to, hoops that you need to jump through.
Because we don't do hoops at the evidence engine. We do impact, impact. They do the hoops.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think now you will dive through those hoops, Olympic style and with spectacular
Hopefully.
flair.
Com Games style.
Yes.
Com Games.
Commonwealth Games
So much
style.
Com Games.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much for going on the journey with me. It was an absolute honor to be your coach. It was so much fun. And thank you so much for sharing your story. Is there anything else you would like to share with the listeners and the viewers today?
I just want to thank you. It's pretty exciting. It's been a really exciting process to come from listening while I go for my walks or I'm riding my bike and going, wow, these are amazing examples. And this is exactly what I want and need right now. So going from that to then going, oh, I'm going to do this program that, like, I haven't studied since I was at uni, and, all the after hours stuff that I have done in my classroom has been reports and school programming. So doing something for me was kind of exciting. And then committing to it and actually doing it, turning up each week was a little mini goal for me. And I did that and, achieved that. So that in itself was exciting for me. Then getting to the step and stage that I've actually applied, and now I'm implementing these programs and things at school and within my department and sharing with others my story with you. And it's just been a really awesome and kind of surreal experience because I've never ever done anything like this before, and it's reinvigorated me and just super, super exciting. So thank you very much. It's been really, really awesome.
Oh, I'm really pleased to hear that. That's all I want. All I'm doing here is trying to empower everybody to take control of this situation, to drop all of the overwhelm and have a clear pathway and to have fun and celebrate what's going on for them along the way. So it really, really means a lot what you've just said. Thank you so much. I'm really glad.
And teachers need more of it because it's really hard work at the moment, beyond hard work. And teachers are amazing, absolutely amazing. It's just such a valuable part of our society. So we need more help.
Yeah,
So
every teacher deserves to be celebrated. Every teacher deserves to know how to celebrate for themselves and how to celebrate others. Imagine what it would be like if we could all do that for each other every day. It's got to be so exciting. I'm having a mini army of educators. We're getting there. Emma's one of them. Thank you so much for this episode. If you would like to offer Emma your congratulations or ask her any questions, you can comment below this video over on our YouTube channel, or of course message us over DM and I'll let Emma know. The show notes for this episode will contain some links. We've mentioned Jen's podcast episode. It will send you off to the evidence engine, and of course, maybe with Emma's permission, you might be able to share Emma's portfolio too. She's saying, yeah. All right, cool. So you can go have a little nose. Look at her, great song. She's awesome. Go and check out her stuff. Thank you so much, Emma. It's been an absolute pleasure.